Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture.
And I can't believe it's already time for episode 20 of Saturday Morning Makes for 2025. Let's see what we've got going on today.
Hey y'all, welcome back. Happy Saturday morning makes. I hope everybody's having a beautiful morning. This is, oh my gosh, well, I never know the date on the weekend. It's Saturday, June 14th. It is 10:30 in the morning as I film this, and just wanted to take a few minutes to come and share with you the things that I made actually overnight. I couldn't sleep last night, so I was in here just making. And I stamped out, I'm going to go ahead and move these out of the way. And I stamped out just a bunch of a couple different images from a couple sets from Unity. So I have, excuse me, these two sets that I picked up from Unity last year. This one is called Eerie Enchantment, and this one is called Boo to You. And I have had so much fun with these. I love them. I do wish, because the amount of detail that's in these, oh, I put one guy in here. I do wish that these were larger stamps. That's just me. And again, because there's so much detail in them, it gets lost when they're so small. And they're also kind of hard to color, to be honest. But I mean, you can even tell just looking at that stamp that there's a lot of detail going on there. And then you can see the images. And let me see, I have some stamped out somewhere as well that I haven't colored yet. Let me put you on pause for a second. Okay, here they are. So this is this guy. Right, there's a lot of detail in his little patchwork coat and top hat. And then the scarecrow, same thing, and the witch. I love them all. I love the artistry. I love everything about them. I just wish they were about half again that size, maybe double. And then I think then we wouldn't have lost all the detail. But in any case, I love them. I stamped them out, and I've made a couple cards, and then I have a couple more in the wings. So I'm going to share with you the rest of the products. I think the rest of the products that I've used, and if not, it's not the end of the world, right? So again, these two stamps, Boo to You, Eerie Enchantment. I used this Just a Note die. This is from, I believe, Pink Fresh Studio from several years ago. This Love You die from Catherine Pooler is several years old as well. Used it. I used, you can see this one that's flipped over. I used that die from this Nesting Rectangle dies from My Favorite Things. And then I used several of these. These are the ATC dies that Miss Jana gave me. And I used a couple of these. Oh, can I get them apart? They do tend to, if you have nesting dies and you don't have them neat and organized on a magnetic mat, you know how tangled up things can get. But I used this shape and I've used that shape. Different sizes, but those are the two shapes that I've used. So let me slide those back inside. And again, this is Jana over at Jana Stamps sent me those with some other items, some other goodies. This is the Sprinkle Scallop Rectangle die from Whimsy. I think I just used those two, these two straight edge. I think those were a good size that I needed. And then I also used a couple of these. These are just my stitched rectangle dies from Creek Bank Creations. And then I used this high. This is a couple of different tag dies in here. I think this is from the Stamp Market, if I'm not mistaken, and it goes with this set. But I used that high. And then I also used this. This is from, I think it's from Mama Elephant, and I believe it's called Lafayette, but it is no longer available. But that's what I used. So, and I used my Olo markers to color the images. Most of my backgrounds are going to be gel plate prints that I've shown in recent videos, but I also used some rickrack and some of this black and white striped ribbon. But it's kind of a, it's not really a mesh. I'm not sure what that's made out of, but the black is actually glitter. So that's kind of cool. I like that. So without further ado, I am going to jump on in. So this is my first card. It says love you. This background actually was kind of a resist technique where I put some, gosh, I can't remember the product that I put through it. I can't remember if it was a product from Imagine Crafts or if it was the resist spray from Tim Holtz. But in any case, I put that through the stencil, and then I used some of the mica stains and the, what's the other one, the spritzes. I used them both on the background. And then I tried to stamp an image and heat emboss it, and that was a hot mess. That is actually underneath this. So I held on to that background because I knew that the rest of it was still, I mean, look at that glorious shine and grunge and texture. So I knew that that was still good, and I perfect situation to be able to use that background and also be able to make this image pop. So there's that Sweet Witch. I used a little bit of crystal glaze on their eyes, a little bit on the curls of her hair as well. And then you can see the rectangle dies that I used and the love you. And then on the inside, nothing. And on the back, I put that purple piece on the back just to get it up to the right size, 5.5 by 4.25. But also it helps to pull that purple out and kind of balance the purple and the green. But I thought it was really cute. I love this little bat. And another flaw that I covered up is there's a chunk out of this corner. But you won't know that because the bat just looks like that's where he was placed because he's cute, which is true, but it's also covering a flaw. So show yourself some grace when you have things that don't necessarily work out, and then try to think outside the box on how you might be able to put them to use down the road. So that's the first one. I love her. I think it's great. Again, that detail though is so lost. There's just so much of it there that we're not able to appreciate. And then this is another one. This one is an actual gel plate print. This one was, I think it's Tribal Wallpaper 3 from Ceri Griffiths, C-E-R-I, Ceri the Crafter. And this is a gel plate print that I did, oh gosh, probably 2 months ago. But I really wanted to allow that to shine, and I felt like this image did just that. So he stands out, obviously. He's gorgeous. But that coloring ties in with the background, but because I've got that big white border around him, it allows him to pop off that dark background, and they both have a moment in the sunlight, if you will. And then there's that Just a Note. And I believe it's from Pink Fresh Studio. Then on the inside, I used one of the little kitty cats that's a part of the same stamp set, and then nothing on the back. But I will likely go back and stamp the backs. I just haven't done it yet. And I might even put a piece of this in here. I still have some of this gel plate print I could put on the inside just for an adornment. And then this one was actually the first one that I made, and I just think it's really sweet. I colored this in pink. I just thought pink was going to be really cute. And again, I colored everything before I went back, and then I fussy cut things out. And then I started making my cards. I just pulled out prints and backgrounds and other little things from my stash that I thought would work. And so I used several different dies on this set to get all the different layers. But I felt like I needed these solid layers to allow that gel plate print to kind of pop, because otherwise it just kind of all blurred together and nothing really stood out on its own. It was just kind of a jumbled mess. But putting the pink layer behind the ghosty and before the gel plate print, and then the white and the green between the two gel plate prints, allows the gel plate print to really shine, which is what I wanted when I was doing this, right? I want my prints to shine because they're beautiful. They're beautiful stencils. And I mean, just everything. And when they come out well, they just come out so well. And I don't want to cover that up, but I feel like I end up doing that because I add so much. So this time I feel like I was successful in allowing everything to have its own moment in the sun. And then I used some more of that gel plate print just to kind of adorn the inside and the back. And this thanks die was already cut out and sitting here on my excuse me, on my desk from a couple months ago. So I just thought I would use it. And then this one is a shaker. I have not made a shaker in ages. And this print was absolutely stunning, and I had a hard time cutting it, but I'm reminding myself, you make these things to use them, so use them. But again, I wanted it to shine. So that's where I used this die from, I don't know if I think it was Mama Elephant. I think it was Mama Elephant. But it's no longer available at any rate. But I thought that gave enough oomph to kind of separate the two pieces, if you will, so that it's not just a flat surface, right? And then I added the shaker element to it, and I used this shaker mix from This Calls for Confetti. I think it's called Autumnal Buzz, Autumn Buzz, something like that. And then, of course, these are the white ghosties. And I don't know if this is still available. I feel like it might be. I feel like it is. But I also took one of the little sunnies from the mix and I put it on the buckle of her hat. I thought that was really cute. And again, I used some more of those crystal drops for the eyes on the ghosty as well as on the Jacopeo. And on the inside, I used the same die to cut out that white panel, and then that's where I used the high. And then nothing on the back. So, at least nothing yet. But those are my makes for today, y'all. I'm really happy with them. And again, a shaker, right? I used to make shakers all the time. At least once a week, if not every day for a spell. And even though these blend in really well to the background, that's what I wanted. You know, they don't stand out in terms of visually, but that's what I wanted, again, because I wanted the gel plate print to be able to shine. But then again, that adorable image has its moment as well. And when you're up close and you can see them in person, the shaker mix and the ghosties, they have their moment as well. So I feel like everything gets the attention that it warrants, and it just makes my heart happy. So those, my friends, are my 4 makes for today on this Saturday morning for Saturday Morning Makes. And if you are unfamiliar, just use that hashtag SatMornMakes. That will pull up other projects that people have shared this week as well as in weeks past. It could be video, could be just a photo, it could be any number of things and on any platform. Yeah, and you can also use that same hashtag if you want to share your projects with us. Doesn't have to be card making, doesn't have to be paper crafts. Any kind of art genre that you are interested in and would like to share with us, use that hashtag so we can hop around and find you. And guys, until next time, this is Nancy, the Handy Scandy. I will be MIA for a while. I'm actually having a couple procedures done next week, and so I will be recuperating. But I will be back sooner than later. So until then, I love you guys, and I'm out.